Hey, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you are all doing well, dear friends. I really do hope that. Pre-season friendly for the Mind charity. Great cause that Chelsea, Arsenal and Tottenham are all taking place in Champions of Europe 2, not qualified for Europe 1. Had to get it in. It's the line. It's, a little bit of banter. Of course, this is a pre-season friendly, and many substitutions will reflect that. But certainly an interesting game, and one with loads of things that happened. Goals from goal scorers Kai Havertz, Tammy Abraham, Granit Xhaka, free as a bird on a set piece to score. Arsenal had a goal ruled out that went over the line due to no goal line technology, but I actually think prior to that, just prior, there was an offside. Hey, sorry Gooners, I think it was offside. Anyway, let's have a look at the stats, the lineups, talk about the game, because there's a lot to discuss, dear sweet friends. Let's look at the lineups. By the way, this is one of the most attacking Chelsea lineups I have ever seen. Edouard Mendy in goal. A back three of Rudiger, Chalobah and Kurt Zouma. I think Chalobah, Trevor's played in midfield as well. Not to say that's part of the more attackingness, but listen to this. A front three of Timo Werner, Kai Havertz and Hakim Ziyech. Obviously a very offensive front three, as you'd imagine. Ruben Loftus-Cheek playing as a double six when he saw himself as a number 8, number 10. So already that's cranking up how offensive this is. But both wing-backs are in fact wingers. Christian Pulisic and Callum Hudson-Odoi both playing wing-back. Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. What an offensive lineup from the Chelsea. Let's have a look at the Gooners. They had Leno in goal. Chambers holding Paulo Mari, Kieran Tierney, Partey, El Neni as a double pivot, and then a front four of Lacazette, Emile Smith-Rowe, Aubameyang, and Pepe. So to be honest, Arsenal put out an extremely offensive lineup as well. So they were going for it. Let's have a look at the stats. Chelsea had 17 shots to Arsenal's 14, but they both had 5 apiece. Chelsea had the lion's share of the possession in the Emirates with a better pass accuracy. They both committed 10 fouls, 2 yellow cards to the Gooners, 1 and a few offsides. And you can have a look at this. The corners, 6 corners apiece. So it's actually pretty even at the Emirates with a lot of changes. And I think Chelsea probably made more changes, or certainly at halftime. At halftime, the only change Arsenal were doing, of course they're 1-0 down, I'll talk about the goals in just a second, we brought on 5 players, mainly fringe players, including Danny Drinkwater to come and play in the midfield, and they only brought on their £50 million signing in Ben White, who, so early doors, it looked like Chelsea was treating it a little bit more like a friendly. Look at the timeline, actually. That's probably helpful. Goal from Chelsea's star boy, Kai Havertz. Assist Timo Werner, his German homie. On the break, Timo Werner gets it. It's those two running in isolation. Not in isolation, but as in there's no other Chelsea players. It seemed frustrating, like Timo Werner was holding onto the ball for too long. It did feel like that, but ultimately the pass came to Kai Havertz, who touch and finish on his weaker right foot, and my oh my, Kai Havertz does not have a weak foot, man. He absolutely rifled this, so yes, he is an absolute baller, Havertz. I mean, I'm sure people know it by now, but what a young player this guy is. And sadly for Thomas Partey, he got sustained an injury, so had to be substituted at 40 minutes. And sadly for Chelsea, it was Granit Xhaka who'd come on, who would, equalise. Kovacic commits a foul in the 42nd minute. And yes, we see a lot of substitutions after halftime. Rudiger comes off, Malang Sarr comes on to play the left centre-back role. Of course, he's left-footed. Actually, he's looked pretty good so far, Malang Sarr. I'm pretty impressed with him. Yeah, he looks decent. Good ball-playing player. He's obviously built physically well. I don't think he's the tallest centre-back ever. But yeah, and the only Arsenal swap is Ben White for Rob Holding. So Arteta obviously had designs to to keep players on for longer. Zappacosta for Kai Havertz, obviously not a straight swap there. Danny Drinkwater takes over in the midfield from Kovacic. Dujon Sterling comes on for Kurt Zuma comes off. And Timo Werner comes off for Tammy Abraham. So a lot of changes there from Chelsea, and Chelsea fans are starting to think, no disrespect to Danny Drinkwater, who's actually played quite well in the 2 pre-season games, but he just looks like he's just very tidy. He just doesn't try anything too ambitious. He sort of does the midfield role quite sensibly, as a Premier League winning centre mid would. But he does look like he gets gassed out quite easily, which isn't ideal. Zappacosta gets yellow on the where are we? Yes, so on the 63rd minute we see some more substitutions. Ruben comes off. He had a few good driving runs actually. He's looking more and more like himself. I'll be really interested to see what Thomas Tuchel is thinking while he watches him. And of course, a welcome sight. World-class World Cup winner, Champions League winner, multiple Premier League winner, PFA winner, N'Golo Kante. And obviously Europa League, or whatever, all the other stuff he's won, FA Cup. Comes on the midfield. Superb sight. And Michy Batshuayi comes on. He does. Michy Batshuayi comes on. Kepa comes on for Mendy. Ross Barkley comes on for Pulisic. Baba Rahman comes on for Hudson-Odoi. So now we're playing a 3-5-2 formation with Tammy Abraham and Michy Batshuayi up front together. Interesting. I tweeted out how after Antonio Conte won the Premier League with a 3-4-3 formation, the following season he experimented with a 3-5-2. After Thomas Tuchel won the Champions League with a 3-4-3 formation, he's seemingly experimenting this next season with a 3-5-2. It's happening again. Then we got the goal. Granit Xhaka frees a bird on a corner, not retake, but the next corner from going out of play. Frees a bird, sort of strolls in, scores. He's a good player, Xhaka. He's obviously got a peculiar coloured past with Arsenal, but Jesus, what a good Euros he had as well. Do you know what I mean? So now Arsenal make the changes. They bring on Tavares. Is it Tavares or Tavares? Oh, it's got to be Ish because he's Portuguese. Lacazette comes off. I think Lacazette's dead food, to be honest, man. Nketiah comes in for Tierney. Nketiah's probably got a better shout of being the striker over Lacazette. Bellerin comes on for Pablo Mari. Is Pablo. I think Bellerin makes the mistake for the winner. And then Willock. Obviously, Willock had an amazing end to the season at Newcastle. I think he just kept scoring in every game coming off the bench for Newcastle. Like winners as well, like epic winners. Won them loads of points. Fair play to the lad. I think Newcastle want him back and Steve Bruce. We'd love to see what happens there. But Tammy Abraham, a really good finish. Obviously capitalises from a mistake, a poor wayward pass. He picks it up and absolutely slots it bottom corner. Fair play to Tammy Abraham, actually. For the Arsenal fans who have been thinking about, rejecting the idea of Tammy Abraham coming to Arsenal, maybe they watch moments like that and think, that was tidy, that was a great finish. But, it's moments like that, Chelsea think, we could probably do with him. We haven't got any strikers. More Arsenal changes. Kolasinac for Smith Rowe. Another new midfielder from the Gooners. Lokonga for Callum Chambers. And then we see out. End of match. 2-1 to the Chelsea at the Emirates. Things you love to see. Obviously, it's a horrendous amount of changes. It's very difficult to get, an idea of chemistry. If I was Arsenal, they said this in commentary. I think Pat Nevin did. I would actually be worried about their defence because they've got a lot of their starters that have played a lot of football for Arsenal out there, including obviously Ben White, who's had no time to train or whatever. And they look really dodgy. And then you got Chelsea that just threw out academy players and loanee returnees that haven't seen each other in ages, and they look similar. Do you know what I mean? Poor for the Xhaka goal a couple of moments. But the Arsenal defence does not look great at all. So 2-1, it's always nice to win away. Chelsea were favourites, I think, but when we were making all those changes, I was like, oh yeah, it is a friendly, and we could easily just suddenly lose this 3-1 or something, and it would, and Tuchel probably wouldn't mind too much because he wants to look at the players. But again, another perfect scenario where he looks at 20 plus players, sees how they play, wins a game for the fans and the player morale, and it's a perfect situation. So yeah, man. I want to talk about something else in just a second, but let me know what your thoughts are on the game. Comment down below. Yeah. I feel like it's a really positive result, and I was happy to pay the money for the fifth stand because it wasn't a great goal. If I lost focus, this bloody camera. I was actually quite happy to play the money for the game because it's for a good cause, man. Do you know what I mean? So that's good. Oh, I wanted to drop like a little plug as well because I've been talking on socials. A lot of you guys who just watch my YouTube won't know about this, but before YouTube, I did a lot of music. That's what I studied. That's why I got my degree. And I used to be a DJ. I used to be a music producer. And obviously I got onto YouTube. I appreciate a lot of you guys if you're at this point now. I'm not talking about Chelsea anymore. It's only for 2 minutes. Fair enough if you want to dip out. But if you're interested in me and my music, I wanted to let you know because I stopped making it for years. I didn't open Ableton. I barely played guitar and piano and sang and stuff. And I've decided to start doing it again for the, in the Spirit of Mind charity for my own mental health, because I feel like I stopped it because I wasn't in a good place. And to be honest, I'll be real. I'm still not in the best place, but I'm comfortable talking about that. I'm okay. I don't want people to worry. But I've started making music again, and I've made a musical Instagram where I'm posting all my old music clips, and I'm trying to get inspired to make some new music, which I've been experimenting with. So I just wanted to let you know, if you want to follow me in my Instagram, it's at Yanni Tunes. On Instagram, YANNY Tunes. I'll put a link in the description for my music Instagram. Come and drop me a follow. If you're interested in all the different types of music stuff I used to do. Anyway, plug over, friends. Yeah, that message is just for like the guys who are, I guess, more sort of fans of me rather than just the content. Anyway, guys, enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.